Good morning, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Can't seem to get out of the kitchen to help your student with their homework? Well, join me today for some quick dinner recipes so you can do more of the evening things you should do, or maybe more importantly, what you want to do here on Soflo Taste. How fun is that? Good morning, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and welcome to the Goya Kitchen at Junior Achievement of South Florida here in Coconut Creek. Have you done your homework? Or more properly, have you done your kids' homework? Normally, full evenings are getting even fuller with school and homework. There's so much going on, but today I thought it would be fun to give you some recipes for quick dinners so you can get out of the kitchen and off to supervising homework or watching Local 10. So let's get cooking. All right, so I'm gonna make a quick marinade for a delicious dish. I kind of created this chicken marinade. It's so yummy. You can grill your chicken, you can sear the chicken, you can even fry this chicken. But let's get it into the marinade first. The marinade only takes about 30 minutes for it to be great, but if you wanted, you can keep it overnight, or you could just do 10 minutes. Anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour is really special. I'm going to use a little bit of gochujang, which is the Korean chili paste, a little bit of brown sugar. This is grated yellow onion. You basically just cut an onion in half and you take it on a grater, and then you get all this juicy ground onion, and it's so delicious. It's wonderful. A little bit of ground ginger, which you can also use either on a microplane or a fine part of a box grater, is also great. I'll use about half of that. And then a nice amount of black pepper and soy sauce. So this is going to be a little chunky for obvious reasons, but it's a wonderful marinade for pretty much anything. Today I'm using it for chicken. This is a bag of chicken thighs, and this has the skin on. You can also do it with skin off. And I'm going to hand this off to my friend Amanda over there, and she's going to marinate these beautiful boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Okay, so before I get into my next recipe, I want to remind you all that there is still time to place your order with Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market for Labor Day and Rosh Hashanah. Call them at 954-983-6831. You can always go to DelawareChicken.com and, place an order for pickup. They are at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. They will be closing for Labor Day. They'll close that day, so they need to take a well-deserved break. But make sure you tell them Michelle sent you. All right, so speaking of Delaware Chicken Farm, and I know this is a very large bowl. I'm sorry, I needed a big bowl, and this is what Amanda handed me. We are gonna make my favorite meatballs. Not everybody likes spaghetti and meatballs. My husband and I love to eat meatballs on a salad. So I'm gonna teach you the meatball recipe, and then I will teach you how to make the beautiful salad that it's going to go with. So let me show you all this glorious different kinds of meat that I have here. I love meatballs that are light as a feather. And there's a couple of tricks as to how to make a meatball light. I've got ground beef. We love ground sirloin. I've got a little bit of ground veal for the gelatin in the ground veal. And then instead of pork, I love sausage. All these three came from Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. And if you don't like sausage, then you can always use pork. Now, I do not use spicy sausage because of the kids. So I put all those meats into one big bowl. It can be equal parts, or in this case, it's 2-to-1 ground beef to the other two types of meat. Here I have some bread soaking in milk. And that is one thing that will make your meatballs really nice and light. I'm just gonna break it up a little bit and throw it into the bowl. I love lots of spices, so I have onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, and chili flake, all going in there. A couple of eggs, a lot of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and this is what really makes this stuff really light. This is ricotta cheese, and I love putting ricotta in my meatballs. And then lastly, I have some sauteed onion and garlic right here. So this sautés just until it's really nice and soft. I've cooled it off a little bit, and then I'm just gonna add that to my bowl of mix. And why don't I put it in when it's raw, mainly because all of the juice that comes out of onions and garlic when they cook might get this a little bit too wet. So that's why I decided to cook it ahead of time. So I am just gonna bring this together. This needs to be completely mixed in. You don't want to see bits of anything. You want to make sure the ricotta is really in there. Now you notice I didn't put any fresh herb. If you want to throw some fresh chopped parsley in here, you can. But I always find that my chopped parsley starts to burn a little bit for some reason when I see the outsides of it in my meatballs. So I use dried a lot, but if you want to, you can throw some fresh herb without a problem in here. All right, so this has all come together. Form the meatballs as big or as little as you want. So I already started searing my meatballs, but I'll show you a little trick as to how I do that. I actually dust the meatballs in breadcrumb, Italian breadcrumbs, before I sear them. And as you can see, I have them searing right here. The breadcrumb, as you see, turns beautifully golden. And so as they cook, I have the beautiful Italian breadcrumb that's turning golden on the outside, and then the gorgeous meat on the inside. All I do to get them in the oven, after they sear on both sides, I add a little bit of chicken broth, just about a quarter of the way up. I add a little bit of my favorite tomato sauce that I usually make that's in my freezer, or you can buy some. Whatever your favorite tomato sauce is, throw a couple cups in there, and that's it. We're gonna put this into the oven and let them cook. They will take no time at all, and of course that tomato sauce will come all the way around that pan by the time we are done. Come right back to SoFlo Taste, where my goal is to get you out of the kitchen earlier on a school night, so hurry back.
Come back to SoFlo Taste from the Goya Kitchen at Junior Achievement of South Florida.
Coming up right after SoFlo Taste, it's SoFlo Home Project with me, Elena Capra, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, and this is all about getting you out of the kitchen and back with your kids. So that marinated chicken thigh, remember that? I put them into a grill pan, and look how they're caramelizing. If you have a grill outside, I would throw them out there. They work beautifully on the grill pan or just a saute pan. I sprayed it pretty heavily, by the way, with cooking oil spray. Let's jump into the meatball because that is going to be first. So let's cut up some romaine. I like to cut it pretty big, like so. I already have a bowl that has a little bit of arugula in it. Let's throw the romaine in there. Then I've got a little bit of radicchio. To me, bitter greens go beautifully with the meatball. So I'm just going to slice this. Okay. So we have our salad. Let's toss that a little bit. Okay. Now let's make our vinaigrette, and we'll keep it really simple. I've got onion and garlic powder. I have some oregano, a little bit of salt, black pepper, red wine vinegar, and then of course some oil. Now instead of using just extra virgin oil, I'm just going to use a little bit of vegetable oil combined with a little bit of olive oil. So let's go ahead and whisk that together. That can go over my salad. And then let's go ahead and get the meatballs out of the oven. They should be done by now. Yes, they are. So I'll show you how I set up this platter at home because it's one of my favorite things. After the salad is mixed, I put it on a big platter like this one. Or you could put the meatballs on the side, of course, but this is my favorite way. You've got big chunks of all of the greens. You really need to eat this with a fork and a knife, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. Okay, so we'll put that on the platter. Then we'll take some Parmesan all over the salad. Then take a nice spoon and tongue and grab some meatballs with some of its juice and place it right on top of the salad. Like so. And then let's take some of the sauce and spoon it over. I know that it's a fresh salad, but the warm sauce brings it all together so deliciously. You won't even believe it. Then I'm going to take the same spoon, dip into some ricotta, place the ricotta in a couple of spots around the salad so that when you dig in, you can grab a little bit of ricotta cheese, and finally some parm. And there you have it. That's my meatball salad. One of my favorite things to serve at home. It is delicious. So let's talk about the next recipe real quickly because it's about ready. So I've got sushi rice or sticky rice in my rice cooker, which I always have soaking in the morning that I know I'm gonna make something with sticky rice. The rice soaks in the morning and then I just turn it on later when I know about 30 minutes before I serve it. So I have the sticky rice. We have our chicken, which is just done. Let's place chicken down on a platter like this one. This is the new, by the way, favorite dish in my home. So this is what we are beginning to have once a week until everybody gets a little tired of it, and I'll switch it around a little bit. Then I serve beautiful slices of julienne carrots and lettuce and lime wedges, like so. I've got mint and cilantro straight from my garden. I have hoisin sauce that I open a jar and pour into a bowl, and I put some peanuts on top or cashews, and it looks like I worked all day on it. And then I give everybody that sits at my table a bowl of warm water because everybody's gonna make their own rice paper roll. So everybody will dip a piece of rice paper into the warm water. They'll pull it out. They'll put all their favorite things into it. Give it a quick roll. I'll show you how to do it if you come right back. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. We're here at Junior Achievement of South Florida and Coconut Creek, a wonderful and beautiful place committed to the education of our children. Visit jasouthflorida.org for more information or call 954-979-7100. We're happy to be in their kitchen. Now back to the food. Let me show you how these look. So these are summer rolls. So this is the rice paper. I put julienne pieces of the chicken and veggies in there. Just delicious. This is so much fun. Get the kids in there. It's just delightful. All right, this one is actually what I consider to be the easiest one. I love seared tuna. I love raw tuna. And we found a beautiful piece of tuna over at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Rather than doing regular old sesame seeds, I've decided to stick the tuna inside of everything bagel spice. I love everything bagel spice, and that's how I like my bagels, so why not try it here? So I've got a raw, beautiful piece of sushi grade A tuna. I'm going to encrust it in bagel spice. Now, just so you know, everything bagel spice does have salt, so be careful not to season your tuna or it will be too salty. I'm heating the tiniest droplet ever of oil in a nonstick pan, and what we're gonna do is make sure that we sear all sides almost exactly the same amount of time. So let's go ahead and place the tuna into the pan and start searing. What I like to do is just count. So I'm gonna count up to about 30 or 40, and then we'll flip it over and count the exact same amount of time. Okay, that was 40 seconds, I'm flipping. While I count, I'm going to jump on some vinaigrette. I have a little bit of coconut sugar. I know, have you heard of it? It's delicious. You need to. It's wonderful. It really smells like coconut. It's been 40 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and put that on its side. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some fresh squeezed lime into the coconut sugar. Let's add a little bit of rice wine vinegar. Let's flip our tuna. Last side. A little bit of some grated ginger. This is just some peeled ginger that I put on a microplane. We're going to add that to the mix. A little bit of sriracha. Remove the tuna from the pan. Let it rest a minute. Then I'll add a little bit of sesame oil and a little bit of just plain oil. If you want, you can use peanut. It's really up to you. Add a little bit of salt and whisk this together. What we're making is a tuna bowl, which we love for lunch or dinner in our home. I've got some soba noodles that we cooked according to the package, and all you have to do is toss them in your favorite oil when they come out and put them either on the whole bowl or maybe a side of the bowl. It's really up to y'all, like so. I've got some edamame, which I was smart enough this time to buy frozen and already out of the pod so that they can easily go into the bowl. I've got some scallions, just beautiful scallions actually, and cut these on a little bit of a bias. And place these over here, like so. We've got some Fresno chilies. These are basically red jalapenos. You'll basically just want to make them nice and flat. And if you have a Japanese mandolin like this one, I would pull this out at this point. You can go as thick or as thin as you want to. It's pretty simple. And just slice slices of this chili across, like so. And I put the Fresnos in a place that you could definitely see them in case you want to avoid them. Obviously, the kids wouldn't be eating those. Then I take a cucumber, cut it right in half, and make slices of cucumber. Again, as thick or as thin as you want. You can obviously use a knife for any of this in case you don't have one of these mandolins. We're going to take an avocado, cut that in half, cut off both sides to make it a little bit easier to peel. Cut side down, take out the pit, do the same thing, cut, cut, and then peel. And it comes right off like so. Next one. There we go. So you can slice this if you want to. You can leave it whole, leaving that up to you. So I'm just going to cut these maybe in half and put the avocado over there. Then finally, I've got some cilantro and some basil. We'll put some over on this side. We'll put some basil leaves on this side. Okay, last thing finally is the tuna. You're just going to do nice straight slices of the tuna. Straight down. I go about 1/4 of an inch thick. And then you arrange your tuna, maybe by twos, around the different vegetables in the bowl. Okay, everybody, I'll be right back after the break so I can show you how to drizzle some gorgeous sauce on this bowl. I'll see you in a few. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste and our quick dinner for the whole family. So I have my vinaigrette going over my seared tuna bowl. You're gonna love this coconut sugar mixture with the lime and the vinegar. It's just really delicious. I hope you try it. There we go. Kind of delicious. What do you think, everybody? Thanks so much for joining me today. With school back in session, your evenings need to be more time efficient than ever. I hope these quick dinner recipes will help you get out of the kitchen and onto more important things. Next time, I'll be saying goodbye to summer with the last cookout of summer. I'll be celebrating Labor Day, and I'm sending it off right with a recipe for surf and turf and a fabulous trifle for dessert. So watch SoFlo Taste so you can take it easy for Labor Day. Now let's check in with our color coordination queen, Elena Capra. What's up, Elena? What's coming up next on SoFlo Home Project?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So today we have advice on updating your home while keeping some existing design elements. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we also share ways to connect the rooms in your home through one common theme.
Okay, Elena, thanks. The SoFlo Hour continues with SoFlo Home Project next. So taste buds, I've had another wonderful time cooking with y'all. I'll see you here next week. Goodbye, mwah, and good taste. Teach your children well.